Shifting to the other side of the country, the Atlantic coast, I guess, here with the California Golden Bears and one of the more exciting corner prospects to come on the board. Really great portal addition. That's Brent Austin, somebody from USF. I remember when he jumped in the portal. He was a guy that was pretty popular. I know Miami poked around here, some other schools. Cal gets it done. And when you look at Cal, you want to talk about a tradition at a position, at least a recent tradition at a position. Noel Williams, third rounder, 7 INTs, 9 pass breakups. Marcus Harris, 6th-round corner, 2 INTs, 6 pass breakups. Those guys go out the door. You also had Craig Woodson, a safety, going 4th round that year, and Patrick McMorris the year before, 6th round to the Dolphins. So there's a lot of NFL talent in that Cal secondary. Coach Wilcox really doing a good job there. And then he goes right back to the well and lands Brent Austin out the portal.
Yeah, I mean, Brent Austin, he kind of came on my radar in these past 2 weeks. He was unranked in 2022 out of California, spent his first 2 years of college at James Madison, kind of played a rotational cornerback role. And then last year he spent the year at USF as a starter, and he racked up 10 pass breakups. Well, then, Signetti signed him.
Yeah, so I put this was one of my notes.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. Wow, he was in the same class as Pons.
Curt Signetti, to me, it's about talent evaluation and other stuff he does. Yes, I included the note of the rundown. Unless I'm mistaken, I mean, he was the coach that signed Brent Austin to James Madison, and certainly took D'Angelo Pons from South Florida to James Madison. Took D'Angelo Pons to Indiana with him. I'm not sure why he didn't take a Brent Austin. He has a pretty good corner already up there. But
my best guess would be that just like they kind of used him as a rotational guy just because of his age at James Madison. And so they were already taking so many James Madison guys over to Indiana. But I'm sure Signetti punches himself every day, that he didn't end up bringing Brent Austin. And so he goes to USF, racks up 10 pass breakups last year. Cal has to replace both their cornerbacks, Marcus Harris and Noel Williams, who were both draft picks. And they do with ease. And they've maybe improved. This is a guy, Brent Austin, only 5'11", 180. He's not some huge corner or anything like that. He leads the FBS this year so far in 13 official pass breakups, and he has 9 of those in the last 2 weeks. So he set the school record with 6 in a game 2 weeks ago, and this is my favorite play of the year by him. At the end of that game, Cal versus UNC, we've got a guy running into the end zone, and who else but Brent Austin runs over, punches the ball out, reacts, gets into the end zone, picks it up, forces a touchback to save the game. By the way, fourth quarter, game is within reach for UNC. I believe they were able to take a lead if they had scored here. And Austin punches the ball out, recovers it himself. Just a ball player. And we're going to talk about the other Cal corner here, but it's just ridiculous what they've been able to find at that position these past 2 years.
Yeah, they just got a knack for it. They're coaching them up. These guys are playing at a very high level. Different types of guys. Even these two we're talking about. So we started talking about Brent Austin, who's your shorter, feistier type of corner, short area quickness. We've seen this type of guy. The other corner, Hezekiah Masses, you're talking about a big 6'1", 185 ball hawk, just different type of player than a Brent Austin, but both these guys have a nose for the ball. Both these guys are really outperforming the initial school they signed with and turning into legitimately impactful Power 4 players.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the second consecutive year where it feels like Cal has multiple defenders who are racking up either interceptions or pass breakups, just some sort of ball production and coverage. And in this year, you have 2 transfers who come in for their final year of eligibility, take over as the starting outside corners, and you don't miss a step. Hezekiah Masses, I think that's how you say it, but he has a different frame from Austin. 2-star in 2022. Do you remember him as a recruit? I would assume
I
not.
don't, and I was surprised that I didn't because I watched Deerfield Beach a lot. That's my neck of the woods. So
Yeah.
you look at this Deerfield Beach team that he was on. I remember the team extremely well. It was a very good group of defensive backs. I just didn't really appreciate what Masses brought to the table. Harlem Howard, who's a safety now at Oregon State. He's been a pretty good player, starting safety for Oregon State. But then you look at Miami, they have two cornerbacks from this team in OJ Frederick and Xavier Lucas, one of the better young cornerback tandems really in America for the Miami Hurricanes. Both those guys played at Deerfield Beach together. They ended up transferring to more advanced, I guess you'd say, private schools, right? That just football powers, although Deerfield Beach is a football power itself. So I don't even know if that's a fair statement. But they were all together. Howard, Lucas, Frederick, Marion Knighton, I believe, was there as well, who's now in Indiana. So you had a lot of power four type of defensive backs, and Masses slipped through the cracks. But then I went back and watched his huddle from his senior year, and I'm wondering how I missed it, because you watch him here, you see the size, he can turn and run with guys. He's doing that on his senior tape, and then the ball skills, right? That's to me where I think he stands out, just with that size and ability to find the football. And that's something that when you go back and watch him in high school, he was doing at that time. So great evaluation by FIU and a great get in the portal for Coach Wilcox and the California Golden Bears.
Yeah, I mean, these are like the type of guys that schools like FIU need to find as recruits. Guys who can be a somewhat starter as a true freshman, especially at a position like corner. That's a massive bonus. That's great for your future. And then guys who can maybe hold it down for 2 more years as a starter, and then they're probably going to take the step up to a school like Cal. It was just it's a great evaluation. He's come in, he played immediately at FIU. And I mean, he's produced. He's got 5 interceptions this year now, 8 pass breakups in addition to that. So this is a guy, like, I understand that neither of these two were particularly highly rated transfers, but I think that, and you notice how often he's in press in these plays, and that is a theme that follows him over to FIU for Masses specifically. Cal loves to play some press man coverage. They love it. And they recognized, I think, that FIU specialized in that as well defensively. And Masses had legitimate experience playing that press man coverage. And they targeted him because they saw a market inefficiency. We see a guy who maybe isn't getting the love that he deserves, and they went all in on him. And they were somehow able to replace 2 draft picks at corner at Cal.
Crazy. And I don't know if these guys are both going to be draftable players. They could be. They certainly are going to be excellent ACC corners for the foreseeable future. And when you're looking for a common thread, different body types, but both these guys impacting the football. I mean, they both, whether it's taking it away, punching it out, pass deflections, both these guys are getting after when the ball's in the air. And look at Cal, man, back on the winning side. Were they 6-4 at the moment, I believe? So the team is playing pretty good football. Concern going to be retaining, right? When you're Cal and you've been rated as hard as they've been in the portal, and you have a quarterback that's going to be the belle of the ball should he enter the portal. The maintaining part is going to be a challenge, but maybe you just have a team that's a transient team and you're replacing guys that go out the door with players like this who are from a lower level, USF, FIU, maybe schools even more local that probably saves some mileage. But yeah, it's an interesting team to watch. I didn't expect them to bounce back this quickly from losing a first-round quarterback and a running back that was the face of your franchise.
Yeah, I mean, I put down those 2 guys, but also what's the injuries? Is that the tight end who went
tight
to
end for Texas? Yep.
Yeah, and then you lose those 2 corners to the draft. So safety, I forget his name, but they lost a significant amount of talent, especially for a school like Cal, and it just hasn't really seemed to make too much of an impact. Part of that is you get a guy like JKS in there at quarterback. That's a big difference. But yeah, I mean, they really hit on these 2 corners. I feel like that was worth mentioning. One of the most impressive transfer portal, like rebuilt position groups in the country this year, I think.
No doubt. And like that's what they are doing. You said they rebuild their positions in the portal, not just on defense, but offense. Kendrick Raphael from NC State having a really good season. Jacob De Jesus has stepped right in a receiver. So they lost guys in the portal, but that created opportunities for others, and they made good evaluations. So shout out to, again, Coach Wilcox. I was out there in Cal last year for the Miami game, and that was an awesome experience. I really, really like to see that team playing well. That was game day as well. So there's potential there. Just I think the coach is the right coach. He's got to keep some of this talent there and continue to add players like Hezekiah Masses and Brent Austin. So let's shift gears here to the